When someone asks me, who's your favorite composer? This is how I answer them. I tell them my favorite composers. I love Mozart, I love Tchaikovsky, and I love Vivaldi. I love their plays and their operas that they did. I first fell in love with Mozart actually through the Magic Flute. And I also knew that Mozart wrote the tune of the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, Baba Black Sheep, the alphabet song. He wrote it when he was like 4 or 6 years old, and he published it before he was 10 or 12 or something. And I also love Tchaikovsky. Like, his music is amazing. He did Swan Lake, he did The Nutcracker, he did other ballets. He's amazing. And Vivaldi. Vivaldi, of course, the Four Seasons. I learned a bit more about his music when I was taking violin. But then, a few years later, after I discovered that Vivaldi, Mozart, Tchaikovsky were my favorite composers, I bought a piano duet book. And things called like, I still have it. Things called like 100 duets, I think, or something, with the word piano in it. I can't remember. Most of it is classical. Then at the very ending, there's a few folk songs and contemporary songs, all duets. Then I discovered that I really liked Edvard Grieg. I liked the Peer Gynt suite, the Anatris dance. And so I was looking up more of Edvard Grieg's music. And I read up on the ballet that he did on Peer Gynt. Peer Gynt, I haven't read it in a long while, but Peer Gynt, I believe, Peter, he has to go through different challenges and stuff to marry the girl of his dreams or something. I know there's a lot of like twists and plot twists and stuff, but you have to look it up. And then, so I would definitely consider that Grieg is one of my favorite composers. Then, I discovered the Carnival of the Animals by Carnival of the Animals and Peter and the Wolf, both by the Russian composer Prokofiev or something like that. I'm probably mispronouncing his name. He, in turn, would not be a favorite composer of mine, but I definitely love his music, his children's music. Yeah, his music is strong, like a Russian, of course. All Russian music, in my experience, is strong. Same with Ukrainian music and Eastern European music is strong, but Russia is the strongest. But like, I do love the Carnival of the Animals, and I love. There's one of the Carnival of the Animals. I cannot remember the name of it, but it's not the Swan. Yo-Yo Ma, I believe, did the Swan on the cello, as well as other celloists. But it's in the movie, Disney did two movies. One called Fantasia, which was in the 1980s, I think. I don't know that for a fact. Then they did Fantasia 2000, which came out in 2000. The Sorcerer's Apprentice with Mickey Mouse playing the sorcerer. Not the sorcerer, but the Sorcerer's Apprentice. That piece is in both movies. And in Fantasia 2000, they invite different people on the show. In between the cartoon animation bits in the pieces. For example, the Mickey Mouse and the Sorcerer with the Sorcerer's Apprentice. And anyway, so Penn and Teller, oh, I love them. In my opinion, I think Teller is a more advanced magician than Penn is. Penn, of course, he's really amazing at juggling and magic in general, of course. But Teller, because of his no talk act, it in rappers, like, it definitely gets you intrigued. But anyway, so Penn and Teller was the people that did the intro for the Sorcerer's Apprentice. And they had Steve Martin on. He introduced the following piece that Sergi Prokofiev did from the Carnival of the Animals. Steve Martin introduced a piece, or was it James Earl Jones? I cannot remember. They're all like together in different areas of the casting in the movie. But anyway, whoever it was, they were talking about the Carnival of the Animals and how they were talking about pink flamingos playing with one pink flamingo playing with a yo-yo. Yes, you heard right, a yo-yo. And anyway, so the piece is one of the pieces from the Carnival of the Animals, and it's a 2-minute piece. I actually have it on piano, like a piano arrangement. My piano is on because I was playing it. But oh jeez. Just a second, I'm just pausing it. Okay, just unpause the video and I just found it. So the Carnival of the Animals. Anyway, oh, my apologies. I'm dreadfully sorry. The Russian composer did not write the Carnival of the Animals. The French composer, Camille Saint-Saëns, he was one who did the Carnival of the Animals. Wow, you were sure dumb, Ruth. Anyway, this is why I got confused. Many years ago, I had a tape, like a cassette tape, that had on one side of it Peter and the Wolf, and then on the other side of it, they had the Carnival of the Animals and some Mozart music. That's how I got confused. See, no one is perfect. I make mistakes. And yes, I am a music teacher, and the best teachers are out there. The best teachers out there are the ones who are students at heart and who are always willing to learn and to fix their mistakes and to admit when they do a mistake. Anyway, so the piece that I'm referring to, I'll just play a little bit of it. I won't play the whole thing, but... but that's the piece that has the pink flamingos and the yo-yo. The premise of the story that the animators of Fantasia 2000 did was this flamingo, this black sheep troublemaker flamingo who was not wanting to adhere to flamingo rules. Let's put it that way. He basically loved yo-yos. He really did. And his flock kept going up and down the different things in the lake that they were swimming in. And every time that they would jump over a log or duck down under a tree branch or something, the troublemaker flamingo, he would just like play with his yo-yo and like put it underneath the flamingo's feet, put it above the flamingo's heads when they were ducking and going down and jumping up. It was pretty funny. And near the end, all the other flamingos stalk up on the black sheep flamingo and steals his yo-yo. Then the troublemaker flamingo, at the very end of the song, he then grabs a whole bunch of not flamingos, a whole bunch of yo-yos. Just a shout out. You should definitely check out, I think it's called The Yo-Yo Man, by the Smothers Brothers. One of the brothers, I believe, is the older brother. He does an amazing job on the yo-yo. He does around the world and all different yo-yo tricks, rock the baby and etc. While his younger brother, is playing the double bass and commentating the song. So yeah. Anyway, back to the Carnival of the Animals. So yeah, at the end of the song, the black sheep flamingo is basically doing a whole bunch of yo-yoing with like all his feathers and feet and stuff. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, I may not have like favorite composers. If I really like the piece, like the Peer Gynt Suite, Edvard Grieg. He's like one of my favorites, not my top favorite. But I do love the Peer Gynt Suite. The first piece I learned from that actually was Anitra's Dance. It's one of the pieces in the Peer Gynt Suite. In the piano duet book that I have, they also have Norwegian Dance. I know the solo version as well as the duet version. Anitra's Dance, I know different duet version, of course. And I know the different piano solo arrangements. Originally, Anitra's Dance was made for the orchestra. So, and it doesn't have to be Anitra's Dance, it could be any piece that is meant for the orchestra. When you rearrange it for the piano, it's very hard to play as a piano player. Well, I guess if Liszt, he had huge hands, he could play anything. But anyway, when a piece is rearranged from the orchestra set to a piano, it's very, very hard. Yeah, that's all I can really say. But back to Mozart and Vivaldi. Yeah, I first fell in love with them when I was very small because I started piano lessons back in 1997, September of 1997. And I took the music program, Music for Young Children, an amazing program for children. Part of the things that is required is that the parents are present at the different classes that the children are at. Currently, so this is when I first joined, oh, I think I was in Sunbeams 1. And so how the levels work is that you start off like as a sunrise, and there's sunshine, and there's sunbeams, and there's moonbeams. And yeah, when I first joined, it was like there was oh boy, sunrise, sunshine 1 and 2, sunbeams 1, 2, 3, and moonbeams 1, 2, 3. So sunbeams 2 is the same level as moonbeams 1, but the ages are different because you can start when I was first starting. You can start when you were at age 4, and now it's down to age 2, and they teach you like pre-note reading, and they have different animals to help the kids learn the different length and value of beats, as well as the different notes. It is an amazing program. Definitely a shout out to my first piano teacher, Heather Tuttle. Thank you for everything. And Francis Belotis is the one who started it. And part of the NYC program is that you learn about different composers. And you watch different movies about them. And you listen to different cassette players about them. Story form. The premise of those stories are you take a child, then you go with a child, and the child is basically you. And the child does different adventures with a composer. Beethoven lives upstairs. That is a cassette player, like a radio play, and a movie and a book. And it's about this boy who lives with his mother. His father, the boy's father, died, I think. And Beethoven, he had many homes. He moved constantly. That is a fact. And he eventually just moved into the upstairs of this boy and his mother's house. So in the movie, all you hear is Beethoven's music. That's the premise of every single composer story. You only hear their music, and you revolve the child to include the child into the different events of the composer's life in the brief encounter they have with the composer. Oops. And so I discovered the Magic Flute by Mozart through a cassette radio play. I absolutely loved it, and that's how I fell in love with Mozart. Same thing with Vivaldi. I fell in love with him through another cassette player radio play. I loved it. And I then was like looking for different pieces and stuff by him. Vivaldi, one of his nicknames is the Red Priest. He was a redhead. I have some family members who are redheads or gingers, as some people say. And he was a priest, and he then took violin, he took music, he taught music, he wrote music. So yeah. And with Tchaikovsky, same thing. I read a book about him, a children's book. And the child, of course, was involved, and there is this one scene in the Tchaikovsky book that Tchaikovsky, he was conducting the performance, and he was so nervous, he really was. And he was afraid that he might like lose his head if he was conducting too vigorously. Some conductors can be, like the late Boris Brott. He was amazing. I had the honor of singing under him, under his direction. Sadly, he did die in a tragic way. Boris Brott died in a hit and run. A car hit into him and ran away. And he was brought to the hospital and he died a few hours later. This happened this year, 2022. Yeah, I can't remember the date, but he died on a Tuesday, I believe. But anyway, back to Tchaikovsky. Tchaikovsky, he was literally directing the orchestra with his one hand, and the other hand was basically holding onto his neck or holding onto his head. He was afraid that he might lose his head, basically. So, yeah. That's just an endearing thing. Then, well, yeah, also with like the Crime of the Animals and Pierre and the Wolf, that also came from the same NYC kind of pool of stuff. So, yeah, so that's my little backstory about favorite composers. I had a totally different plan for this video. Honestly, I was gonna like start off the video saying like, Ruth, Charlotte, who's your favorite composers? Then I would get into Tchaikovsky, Mozart, and Vivaldi. Then I would talk about Edvard Grieg, and I was going to play a piece by Edvard Grieg. Well, I still can, and I will. Oops. And I'll do another video for you all about my favorite musicians and Beatles, like stuff like that. So, this piece is by Edvard Grieg. So I hope you all enjoy it. It's called Waltz, Opus 12, number 2. hope you all enjoyed that. I'll include that in the description box. But yeah, that's a backstory about my favorite composers and how I grew to love them. But I'll make a brief, I hope brief, brief video about my favorite music artists. Well, you probably all know, if you first subscribed to my channel, like when I first started it, back in the 20-teens, that I did a few Beatles music. And one of my, hello cat. Did you know that Claude Debussy had a cat, and he loved cats? I think he had more than one cat, and one of his cats was literally walking down the keyboard one day, and he wrote a piece based on the different semitones and stuff that the cat was walking on. And the piece is called, I think, Catwalk, Walking Cat. It has cat in the title. Oh, hello, cat. But yeah, so when I first started my YouTube channel, I did do a video of just Beatles music, and yeah, the Beatles is one of my favorite not composers. It's one of my favorite bands. So yeah. Anyway, I should probably stop talking and conclude this video. I talk a lot. You could probably tell. Even if you haven't seen my YouTube, if you've seen my Instagram or Facebook, yeah, or know me in person, you know that I talk a lot at times. But anyway, yeah. If you're watching this on YouTube, this video is too long to post on Instagram or Facebook. So yes, this will only be on YouTube. And if it is on my Facebook, my music account, I will be posting the YouTube link. Because this video is almost half an hour long, and there's no way I could post it on just Facebook. And there's no way I can post it on Instagram. Instagram videos are up to, I think, 15 minutes long? Who knows? But if you're watching this on YouTube, please like my videos, playlists, please share, please comment, and please subscribe and share my channel, my playlists, my videos to other people. I have a lot of music videos. The majority of my videos are music, if not music based. Majority is piano. There's a few voice and piano, like me singing and playing. And there's a few of me dancing, as well as violin. And there's a few of other people, just random stuff. And I have chess, I have stories like Dr. Seuss stories. I have stories in general like Aesop fables. I have Narnia story. I have prayers, I have the Bible, I have a lot of stuff. And I'm probably not even mentioning everything right now, but anyway. Please check out my YouTube channel. I have everything under the sun, from A all the way to Z. Have a great day and have a great night whenever you're watching this video. And see you in the next video.